We are now looking at the account page of the demo site onedanceschool.com, and we're logged in as a family with competitive students. As you can see, we always have the ability to click on a button to quickly enroll in programs for our age category. We can also go and invite our students to audition for our competitive programs. So I can click on this, and anyone can come along to your website and enroll in your auditions or tryouts or whatever it is you call them. And then after the auditions, you can go and provide an invite and information. And let's take a look at what that looks like. So let's say we've already held our auditions and we've gone and sent out our newsletter, which simply states that because you have a competitive student or students in your family, you can log in now and you can enroll in the programs. So this is what it would look like. So for Jessica, she's being invited into the part-time company, and we can say, well done at auditions. We would like to invite you to join our competitive program. To be in the company, you must enroll in all required programs and be enrolled in at least 2 hours per week. So we can set up specific minimum requirements for each and every company that we have. And we can have different welcome packages for part-time and full-time if we want. We can also go and set each student so they have specific discounts different than what we have for our other required programs. So in this case, we could have, for example, once you have 3 students, you save 25% on the third, you save 15% on the second student, and whatever you want to do for that. So that can all be set up for you as well. In this case, we just need to click on Competitive Part-Time 2 Company, and we can enroll on one sheet all our required and optional programs. Let's take a look at what that looks like for our next student. So Jack here has been invited also to extra work. So you can see, well done on additions. We'd like to, you must enroll in required programs in at least 6 hours per week. So this is different because this is a full-time package that we're offering them, and we're also offering him extra work. So you can see that he's got an extra work added here too, and you can see in our case extra work is for solos, duos, trios. So you can see that there's some solos and trios, duo trios being invited to. Let's just take a look at what this looks like. So notice that he's got 2 required and several optionals, and if we go and we click to join our competitive junior company, you can see that here we are, congratulations Jack. So this page specifically is set up for this specific student as we've invited them to these programs. We've also been offered extra work, so that shows up here as well. So your intro paragraph could say something like, before continuing, please read the following welcome package and extra work information documents and consider the level of commitment that is required. To continue registering and participating, both parent and student understand and agree to everything contained in welcome package, extra work information. What's important here is that we have to accept this to continue. So once we've accepted this, we're offered our optionals and our requireds are here, so we can't actually do that, but we can now add this to cart. So I can go and select my optionals and this and add that to cart and check out and pay as we normally do. So let's go back and take a look at what it looks like after a student's actually already enrolled in our programs. So let's take a look at Jasmine. Jasmine has already registered for some programs. So she's registered for her solos, she's registered for her optionals and her requireds, and you can see now at the bottom that she has her minimum 2 hours, and the message now changes to welcome to the competitive dance team. We still provide their information packages, and so they can still always get at those. And these are typically PDFs, so it makes it easy for them to print off and get at later. Easy for us to manage as well. And let's take a look at how this works. So now that I'm in these programs, I also want to make sure I'm collecting the costume fees and the competition fees after the fact. So typically we don't show these right away because we register and we start our programs in August or September, and we want to let everyone settle in for a couple of weeks, make changes, make sure they're happy with the programs before we ask for this. So let's take a look at how we can do our costume fees and our costume deposits if you wanted. In this case with the solo, we're going to allow our customers to actually provide their own costume as per our company specifications. They could still buy the costume before the deadline and we will still provide that for them. We also want to point out is that for a solo, when it comes to the competition fees, we might have a competition just for solos. So notice that the other group programs don't have this competition fee available to them. The competition fees can also change depending on which competition you have or what you're actually enrolled in. So obviously solos are going to be a little more than your group programs. And also notice that when it comes to the way we have it right now is we're going to let everybody order and pay everything right now, which is easy. You could also instead have it so that this is due in September 15th, this is due October 15th, this is due November, this is due December, if you wanted to. We could also set up costumes so you don't have to actually pay the whole fee at once. You could do a deposit, and then once you know the full costume value, you could go and invoice and do that after the fact, which is adds a lot of extra work for us. So let me show you how I do it here, because it's probably the easiest way for everybody. You just need to have a good idea of what your costume values are when you start. So let's take a look at what it's like to order a costume. So in this case, we have, doesn't matter which one I click on. I don't have to click on all of them. I only have to click on one. And I'm going to go see my costume fees. And all I have to do is click accept, as we did before. And in this case, all my required costume fees are there depending on what programs I am. So each one of these could be different. You can set that up yourself. I could also optionally want to pay for my solo costume as well right now, but I'm not going to do that. So there's my costume fees all on one page. Let's add that to cart, and that's done. Let's go back and take a look at my entry fees. So again, I don't need to click on every single one of these. I only need to click on one of them for each student. So in this case, let's open these up. So I'm going to open that in a new tab just to make it quick. And I'm going to go and order these. I'm not going to order the solo, duo, trio, just so you can see what it looks like after I've ordered when I haven't ordered one. So let's go in and accept all these and pay for that. Do the same thing for this one. And we'll add our competition fees for this one as well. And we'll add that to cart. And now let's check out and see what that looks like. So here's my cart. I've got, for my one student, I've got all my costume fees, I've got all my competition fees, all on one order and ready to go. And we've also set it up so that if you pay earlier, so if you pay in October, you have 5 payments, in November 4 payments, and we still get all our money by our deadline of January 15th. So you can set this up any way you want, and it's a real good way of having everything done at once, and it's easy. The payments are much easier for our families, so they only have to pay whatever it is, in this case $348, instead of if they wanted to pay right at the deadline, it would be $1740. Let's check out. I'm going to use test payment because this is a test, it's much faster. I'm going to accept the terms of service and I can confirm my purchase. Now that we've placed our order, you'll see that we're going to scroll down to Jasmine and we're going to notice that she now has all green. So except for the one competition I didn't pay for yet, so I can go and pay for that one later, everything else is in green, and green is good. So now that we've got everything paid, all we have to tell our families is if everything's green, you're good. And that's basically the competitive customer experience.